Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatley Tone's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video. Hope you're all doing well. Now today's video is going to be a bit of a mixed bag really. I've got only a really important item of breaking news and I'm going to be showing you 3 new items in my collection: an LP, a CD that has been very generously gifted to me from one of my subscribers, and a new box set, and that's coming up in a minute. But before we get into that, just wanted to do a quick update on the Paul McCartney 7-inch singles crate. I'm still wading my way through it and I am absolutely loving it. It is just superb, absolutely superb. Sound quality on some of these singles is just phenomenal, really good. And I'm going to be doing a follow-up video which is going to be like my top 20 singles from the crate, sort of based on the A side, the B side, the picture sleeve and the label. So that's going to be coming up in a few days when I have got to the end of the set. Now, talking of that set, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that got involved in the comments on that video. There were absolutely loads of them, and as you know, I respond to everything, so it took me quite a while to get through them all. But really lovely comments, very positive and encouraging comments. So thank you everyone who contributed to that. I think I got in early with my my box set. I was pretty quick out of the blocks, and you repaid in kind. So thank you so much for that. I also wanted to say a very big welcome to all the new subscribers. There's been quite a lot of new subscribers that have joined on the back of that video, so thank you and welcome to the channel. I hope you continue to enjoy the content here. Right, onto this really important piece of breaking news. Now, I don't know if you caught this story at all today, but the Beatles Museum, or the Beatles Story as it's known these days in Liverpool, the one in Albert Dock, have taken possession of a brand new exhibit. John and Yoko's toilet from Tittenhurst Park. I kid you not. John and Yoko's toilet from Tittenhurst Park is now in situ, in residence no less, at the Beatles Story in Liverpool. Now, how the hell did this happen? Well, when John and Yoko moved to New York in 1971, they sold Tittenhurst Park to Ringo, and Ringo kept hold of it until the late 80s when he sold it to an Arab sheikh. Now, when he took it over, he ripped out all the fixtures and fittings and put them in an auction, and this fella bought John and Yoko's toilet from Tittenhurst Park for £1,000. That's a lot of money in 1989, I'm sure. It is a very nice toilet. It's made of porcelain. Here's a picture of it. It's highly decorated, and £1,000, a lot of money for a toilet in 1989. But when you think about whose bums have sat on that toilet, it's probably worth every penny. Now, how it happened was this fella, he'd had this toilet for a couple of decades and it's just gathering dust in his house. So he called up the Beatles Museum and said, do you want to, loan it? Do you want to loan it as an exhibit? And they said, yeah, great. So they did. So that's where it is now. So if you go to the Beatles Museum now in Liverpool, go up to the 3rd floor, you can see John's John. Now, you may scoff, and I'm kind of scoffing as well, but I am absolutely flushed with excitement to tell you about John's toilet. You see what I did there? Flushed with excitement. Anyway, because, this toilet may have real historical value. I mean, who knows what classic tunes had been written on that toilet, because you know what it's like when you go to the toilet. It's a chance to have a little sit down, a little relax. You might read a bit, but if you're a songwriter, you might go with a pad and a pen. So who knows what classic songs were written on that toilet? Maybe something like Just Like Farting Over, maybe, or maybe being for the benefit of Mr. Shite. I mean, Your Poos definitely would have been written there. Your Poos off the White Album. And, Paul no doubt was popping in and out to spend a penny lane. And, you know, maybe he wrote something like we can work it out, or let it pee, or love me poo, or something like that. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. And I know that the timeline of those songs doesn't work with John and Yoko's residence at Tittenhurst Park, but a gag is a gag, and that's enough of that nonsense. Let's get on with the unboxings. So a couple of weeks ago, it was Record Store Day, and here in the UK, we had absolutely nothing Beatles-wise included as part of the UK Record Store Day, whereas in America, there was a whole plethora of Ringo Starr releases, and Record Store Day, RSD, as it's known in the vinyl community, could well have just stood for Ringo Starr Day. You had that many releases. There was Old Wave came out on coloured vinyl. There was a very limited CD of Old Wave came out, only 500 copies, and there was the double live at the Greek Theatre album came out, and there was yet another version of Ringo the Fourth coming out on coloured vinyl. I think it was translucent orange this time. So I quite fancied having the new version of Old Wave because I'm a bit of a sucker for coloured vinyl, and this one has got a bonus track on it. So I thought I'd try and get it, and I found a dealer in Italy that was selling it at face value pretty much. So I really only paid for the postage and packaging extra on top. So I was really pleased to get it, because Old Wave is a much better album than it's given credit for, and it's always been pretty hard to get because it never got a UK or US release when it came out in 1983. It was released in a few territories: Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Germany, Mexico, but never in the UK or US. So it's always been quite a tricky album to get hold of. So I think it's really great that they've brought it out for Record Store Day, and I hope that's a trend that continues, and we get some more Ringo Starr albums coming out that have never been out on vinyl before, like Choose Love or Liverpool 8 or something like that. So that would be really great if that's a trend. But as I say, it's a much better album than people give it credit for, mainly because of the production and playing of Joe Walsh on this album. John Entwistle's on it as well, and Eric Clapton as well. I think there's one track, She's About a Mover, where the band lineup is Ringo, Eric Clapton, John Entwistle on bass, and Ray Cooper on percussion, and Joe Walsh on guitar. What a lineup. So there's a lot of good stuff on this album, so I did pick it up. This is what it looks like: Ringo Starr's Old Wave, and this is on brown vinyl. That's the back of the album with the track listings down the side there, and all the musician credits down this side. Ringo's hands holding the sticks, and this very early picture, pre-Beatles picture of Ringo on the front. It came with an Obi strip, which I'll just hold up quite close to the camera so you can read it. That's the coloured vinyl that it's supposed to be, and on the back again the track listing and a little bit of information about the bonus track, which is an early version of As Far As We Can Go. So let's have a look at the inner sleeve. So basically the pictures just replicate what's on the cover art. You've got the tracks for side one with all the players on each track, and then side two. And let's have a look at the coloured vinyl. So this is supposed to be smoked brown. It's on the Boardwalk label, and that is side one, and that is side two. So very nice release on coloured vinyl. I'm very pleased to have picked that up. So that's Ringo Starr's Old Wave. So a couple of days after Record Store Day, I got a message from one of my subscribers, Patricia from Illinois, and she said that she'd managed to pick up 2 copies of the Old Wave CD. Now, this is a very limited edition of the album on CD, just limited to 500 copies. Now, Record Store Day, they normally only let you buy 1 copy of each item, and but she managed to get 2. I think she went back into the store and bought another one. Hopefully she went in disguised with a false beard and a wig, but she did manage to pick up an extra copy of Old Wave on CD, and she said, would I like it as a gift? And that is such a generous offer. Really, really grateful. Of course I said yes. So yesterday I got a package from Illinois, and inside it was the Old Wave CD, and here it is. It's still in the shrink. I'm going to take that off now. I thank you so much, Patricia, for sending me this. You paid for the postage as well, so really, really lovely gift. Very, very generous indeed, and I'm very grateful to have got this, especially as it's such a limited item. So again, it's got the obi strip, which is exactly the same as on the LP. It's the album on the CD, and we'll open it up. I imagine this is exactly the same as the album, and it is. And let's have a look at the disc. And it basically replicates the that is lovely. Replicates the record. I don't know if you can see the track bands there. That's really, really nice. Really, really nice. So very pleased to get this on CD as well. Thank you so much, Patricia. Really, really generous of you. So thanks very much. So that is Old Wave on CD. So you may remember a couple of weeks ago I did a video about the release of the Concert for George on Blu-ray, which was an audio only Blu-ray, but coming out at the same time was the Concert for George on vinyl for the first time. And I don't own the Concert for George on CD. All I've got is the DVD that came out at the time, so I've never had the music as a separate item. So I decided to buy the box set, and here it is. This is the Concert for George on vinyl. It's the first time it's ever been out on vinyl. I'll just give you a look at the hype sticker, because I know you guys like to see the hype sticker. And you can pause that if you didn't read it in time. So it is as I say, it's out on vinyl for the first time. It's a 4 LP set, but one of the sides, the fourth record, is just one side of music, and it's etched on the other side. So I'm quite excited to see what the etching is. So I'm just gonna take off the hype sticker, put it somewhere safe, get the shrink off, and then I'll show you it. So the shrink is off, and it looks very lovely without the shrink. Very, very nice colour, and that familiar picture of George. That's the back, which has got the track listings. So I'll just show you that. Okay. From the side, it looks like that. And then that's what it looks like from this side. That's the 4 LPs, and there's a little book as well, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'll just get everything out so we can get it easily. Right, let's have a look at the book. So there's the motif on the back. It's like that, and we'll go through this page by page. So you've got a track listing there, a nice picture of George, and A little quote from him there. I could do something like that someday. You'll have all your best pals out there being groovy and making it interesting. I mean, if I had a special, I'd have a few people who mean something to me. George Harrison, which is exactly what this is. Ah, I know that picture. So this picture here is that picture over there, which is a photograph taken by Astrid in Hamburg, which I bought that one when I was in Liverpool. Last time I was in Liverpool, the time before last I was in Liverpool, and it's a numbered print. I will show you some of my Beatles art in a video one day. Picture of Eric and Darnie having a bit of conversation. It says they're discussing Plan B. Ringo at the concert and Ringo and George together in the 60s, and then Eric Clapton with George. And then Paul and George together there. That front cover picture again. Some pictures of the band. There's Paul doing his song there with Eric Clapton, Darnie on guitar as well. Some of the other musicians there as well. Ray Cooper there. Darnie Harrison there. Eric Clapton and Jeff Lynne there. Joe Brown, not Joe Brand, the comedian, Joe Brown, Ringo, and Billy Preston. God bless him. That's just some writing which you won't be able to read. Here's some pictures of the Indian musicians that sort of opened the show. Ravi Shankar there and his daughter Anushka, who played sitar at the concert and conducted the Indian musicians. Ravi and Anushka there. George with Ravi Shankar. Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne. And the Travelling Wilburys. Nice little moment there with Danny and Olivia. A nice picture of George there. And then that picture that we know from the Extra Texture album. And that's the book. Okay, so let's go to the LPs. This is the first LP. I think they've all got this motive on the front. This is LP1. Tracks on side 1 and side 2. So it's mostly the Indian musicians, and there's the Inner Light as well with Jeff Lynne, with Anushka Shankar on sitar. Let's have a look at the vinyl. Comes in this inner sleeve. And put it the right way up. There you go. So that's LP1. This is LP2, sides 3 and 4. That's the track listing there. Inner sleeve. Get this the right way round. This is side 3. and side 4. Very nicely presented set. This is LP3, and the track listing for sides 5 and 6. And the inner sleeve. Very nice set, this. Side 5 and side 6. And that's LP3. And then the final LP, which is a one-sided LP. That's the tracks. Finishing off with My Sweet Lord by Billy Preston, Wah Wah, Eric Clapton and Band, and I'll See You in My Dreams by Joe Brand. So that's the final disc, and we'll have a look at it in a sec. That's side 7, and that's the etched side. Very nice, which is this motif that kind of runs throughout this set. Very nice indeed. So that's the concert for Georgia. I'm looking forward to playing that, and I'll let you know how it sounds when I have. So I'm very happy to have got all these bits and pieces that I've shown you in this video. If you've got any of them, or you want to speak about any of them, please tell me down in the comments, or anything else Beatles related that you want to tell me about, please do so. Love to hear from you. As always, as you know, I read all your comments and I respond to all your comments as well. Now, I've got lots of great stuff coming up on the channel. The next video will probably be the ranking of my favourite top 20 singles from the Paul McCartney 7-inch singles box set. There will also be a Beatley Tones Beatles Christmas special coming up on the channel in the week leading up to Christmas. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing and getting involved with the channel. I would love to have you on board. Okay, well, that's pretty much it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks once again to Patricia for sending me the Old Wave CD. Very, very kind of you indeed. I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.